Hello YouTubers, and today I thought I'd do something a little bit different and review this, which is one of the various releases of the Dapol Tardis. Now, I've never owned one before. This is the first time I've ever owned one, because I've never really had much of an interest in getting one beforehand. But I was able to win this one on eBay for £21, including postage, which I don't think is a bad price considering it is in reasonable condition, apart from this section here, where you can see that bit of plastic is cracked, and I've tried to push it back through, but it just won't. Don't know, I might try the boiling water technique. But yeah, this is the Dapol Tardis, and to be honest, as a representation of the TARDIS, it's one of Dapol's better efforts, actually. It does actually match, to be honest, the 80s box not too badly as a superficial thing, particularly the base being so thin and that as well. But yeah, obviously the windows and everything, it's just all solid plastic, this. And it's bits of solid plastic that all slot together, which means, unlike, for example, in fact, there's one in the background, the one I keep on my desk, unlike a Character Options TARDIS where it's all together all the time, this thing basically will not stay together. In fact, the base on this one often will just fall off. But if we open the doors, it has opening doors, though they open outwards. And in fact, there is a peg. Where is it? There it is on the bottom there. There's a peg to stop you from opening them inwards, actually. Although this door, since it doesn't have the peg, you can open it inwards. And if you wanted to, you could very easily remove that little tab by either filing it down or getting some pliers and, you know, doing it that way. I do like the inside of it, actually. It's quite nice with the little roundels and that all around there. Obviously, the actual prop doesn't have any of this. It's all just blacked out. But, yeah, it's a nice little thing to have that in there. You can see there the battery compartment on this one is exposed. Gonna put some batteries in there. More on that in a second. But yeah, in terms of detail, it's fine, and no big massive battery compartments on the bottom there. It's actually a smart design, actually, by having all the electronics be in the roof itself, basically meaning that the thing itself, you know, doesn't have any obvious speaker grill. Now this is not the sound effects version, unfortunately. There is a sound effects version, but the main difference with the sound effects version is the roof, because the roof has the electronics in there. Speaking of which, there we go, can lift the roof off. As you can see, this is the only thing I don't like, and that is a big obvious switch. Yeah, it would have been nice if the switch was maybe on the underside rather than on the top. I know this was probably done for ease of access, but yeah, it just kind of ruins the look of it. But you can see here, it takes 2 AA batteries. Now, when I got this thing, it wasn't working, even though it said it was in the image, and this said, oh, when they jiggled the switch and that, it seemed to work there. And basically, I was able to somewhat take this roof apart, because I think it's this screw here, yeah, it's this one here. This screw is stripped, and I didn't fancy drilling it out considering how brittle this plastic is. I was able to get this one out and sort of pry it open enough to get at it, although it doesn't want to sit back in together, but yeah, I was able to solder that thing back on. And now, if I flick the switch, there you go, it lights up, hooray! Ooh. And it goes out of focus, hooray! Yeah, the light is actually making it go out of focus. But yeah, it's a nice sort of slow langsing. But it does make an actual ding, because it's an actual incandescent bulb. And I've put that right up to the microphone there. I don't know if the microphone actually was able to pick that up, but It does make a little ding as the bulb goes, because again, it's a little tiny incandescent bulb, which does mean that basically one day this bulb will probably go, and the only way you will be able... You could technically repair it, because you could swap it out for an LED one, and it should work. And also the fact that it takes 2 AA batteries. 2 AA's. Now, here's the thing with this as well. It is very fussy on the batteries it takes. It is very, very fussy. Initially, I tried some rechargeable AA batteries, because basically most of my devices and stuff that I use, for example, here's a TV remote. It has some rechargeable AA batteries in there, because I don't like to waste batteries. I'd much rather just recharge them. Unfortunately, they do not work on this, because rechargeable batteries are a very slightly lower voltage. They are, I think they're 1.25 volts, or sometimes 1.3, whereas regular AA's are 1.5. Now obviously in most devices it doesn't matter, and you'd think for a bulb it won't matter, but apparently it does. The only thing that I could the only batteries, AA batteries I had that weren't rechargeable were actually out of my TV remote. So yeah, after this review, I'm taking those batteries out of there and putting them right back into my TV remote. But yeah, it is a nice enough little feature there that it just lights up as so. But obviously there is various different variants of this box that has been released over the years. Well, in the 90s really. Late 80s into the 90s. And obviously this one is very much a standard one, where it just, you know, lights up and that's it, which is most of them. However, obviously there is the sound effects variant, which is exactly the same as this. However, the LED is blue instead of this sort of off-white yellow incandescent bulb, and also it makes a warp sound effect. But unlike with a character toy, where it has a push button at the bottom that makes the sound effects go off, it will just be sound effects on, sound effects off. So yeah, but as I said, this thing is, I mean, it arrived completely disassembled. I mean, it is very, very easy to take apart, because it is designed to be modular. There you go. And these sections come off here as well, the parts. But I won't take them all apart, because it'll be a nightmare to put them back together. But the reason it's so modular like this is because of the 25th anniversary Tardis playset. Because for the 25th anniversary of Doctor Who, one of Dapol's earliest releases, and might have even been their first release, was a Tardis console room playset that included this, but alongside a larger floor section, and also a Tardis console. Pentagonal rather than hexagonal, and also a 7th Doctor, a Mel and K9 for some reason. But that set is rare, and it's worth a lot of money, and yeah, I don't mind spending £20 for something like this, but spending hundreds of pounds on a Dapol Tardis playset, no. As I said, this was released individually, and that a ton as well, and was also released in a ton of like gift sets back in the 1990s. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's one of Dapol's better offerings, to be fair. Though the thing is with Dapol, and it always worries me with Dapol, is the plastic that these are made out of. As you can see, the base, which makes a clip-on, doesn't. Basically, the plastic is extremely brittle. Basically, it is extremely brittle. So, yeah, just the durability of these, that's why you get so many Dapol things that are broken, because the plastic is incredibly brittle. Also, the paint can rub off, as you can see down the bottom of the doors. there, and I don't know if the entire bottom of this was originally blue and it's just rubbed off, I don't know. But, yeah. It's a fine enough box. It's a fine enough box that doesn't want to go back together. For one for the collection. But do I recommend this, you know, to people? Obviously, if you're a Dapol collector, then obviously you have to have one, and I imagine you already do. But is Dapol something I recommend to people? Well, I don't know. It kind of depends on that. If you like the look of this, then obviously it is a nice thing to have, and the Tardis is one of those few things that you could have just very nicely on its own and be happy with it. But yeah, as a toy released originally, you know, in time for the 25th anniversary, it's not a bad thing. It's not bad. So yeah, that's it for this review, and yeah, there we go.